Did Caitlin Clark just put the WNBA on blast after Lexi Hull got crushed with an elbow that somehow turned into a foul against her? Because what went down in that game wasn't just one bad whistle, it might be the clearest sign yet that the league is punishing anyone who dares to stand with Clark. Let's rewind to the moment Fever fans are still screaming about. Fourth quarter, national TV. Lexi Hull locks in on defense. Kayla McBride grabs a rebound. Hull contests, and then, bam, elbow straight to the jaw. Hull goes down holding her face. Teammates freeze. Even Aaliyah Boston covers her mouth like she just witnessed a car crash. The crowd gasps. Everyone assumes McBride is about to get hit with a flagrant, maybe even tossed from the game. But no, the whistle blows and the foul is on Hull. Think about that. The player laid out on the hardwood clutching her jaw is the guilty one. Fans can't believe it. The Fever bench can't believe it. And sitting there in street clothes, Caitlin Clark can't believe it either. Clark doesn't just sit back. She flashes two fingers at the refs, begging them to review the play. She points toward the monitor. She waves them down over and over, demanding justice for her teammate. And the officials? They ignore her. Every single time. But Clark won't stay quiet. She's rehabbing an injury, but she's still the loudest voice in the arena. She knows her teammate was targeted, and she isn't afraid to call it out. And that's when things get even crazier. Instead of correcting the mistake, the refs double down. No flagrant, no ejection, not even a common foul on McBride. They downgrade it to a technical. Let that sink in. An elbow to the jaw, the kind that drops a player to the floor, gets treated the same way as delaying a free throw. Fans erupt online. Commentators shake their heads, and the message feels impossible to ignore. The more Caitlin Clark demands fairness, the more the refs seem determined to shut her down. But here's the thing. This wasn't just one bad call, because if you've been following the Fever this season, you know the pattern. Clark herself has been hammered all year with no whistles. Sophie Cunningham, torn MCL. Sydney Colson, ACL gone. Ari McDonald, fractured foot. And now Lexi Hull, catching a flying elbow that somehow gets pinned on her. And every time someone steps up to defend Clark, they're the ones paying the price. Meanwhile, the league office, silent. No review process fans can see. No statement from the commissioner. Nothing. And that silence is almost as loud as the whistles themselves. Think about the precedent. The same players keep throwing elbows, dragging stars to the ground, yanking ponytails on national television, and walking away with barely a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, Indiana keeps losing bodies. Every week, it feels like another Fever player is out with some brutal injury. And fans are starting to ask the question the league doesn't want to answer. Is Indiana being singled out? Because this isn't just about fairness. This is about the future of the league. Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's the biggest draw women's basketball has ever had. Ratings, ticket sales, sellout crowds, all of it is skyrocketing because of her. And yet when she demands protection for her teammates, she's ignored. Worse, it almost looks like the officials punish her for even daring to speak. That's not just a bad look. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Because if fans believe their biggest star is being targeted and silenced, how long before sponsors start backing out? How long before national broadcasts stop trusting the product? And the scariest part is that perception is spreading faster than the facts. But through all of this, Lexi Hull showed why fans are rallying behind her. She didn't stay down, she got back up, she played through the pain, she even scored. Teammates called it toughness, fans called it heart, but what it really showed was how much the Fever are forced to endure just to stay on the floor. And that brings us back to the real question. Was this just one blown call? Or is the WNBA deliberately punishing anyone who dares to stand with Caitlin Clark? Because if the league can watch Lexi Hull take an elbow to the face, call the foul on her, and then ignore Clark begging for a review, what's next? Another season-ending injury, another star lost, another viral clip of Indiana players getting assaulted while refs swallow their whistles. At some point, the league has to decide whether it wants to protect its players or risk sabotaging its own future. So let me throw it to you. Are the refs simply incompetent, or is there something bigger happening here? A message being sent to Caitlin Clark and anyone who stands beside her? Drop your thoughts below, because the next game might give us the answer. And that brings us back to the real question.